Well, hello friends, welcome back. This is day 2 of our stitch along for our Promise Keeper project. So I showed you yesterday, we did the back stitch. And if you want to do today's color orange in a back stitch, that's totally fine. It'll look beautiful. Or we're going to learn how to do a running stitch. So I want you to be able to see that. So our running stitch is in the orange and you can see that it skips spaces. So let's get started on that. All right, we're going to take our orange, and do you remember our trick? We're going to put this end on our nose and we're going to stretch this all the way until our arm is straight. Okay? And then we're going to cut like that. And I do hope you're put your needle back at night or after you finished. Put it back in through that felt, that way it doesn't get lost. Okay, so we're going to take our needle and we're going to take our thread. Quick little bite. And now it's nice and flat and it should slide. Nope. Well, it didn't go through the first time, folks. And that's okay, because we can take it and we can just do it again. And you know what? Sometimes I have to cut the end off and start over. But that one went on through. So we're going to pull a tail. We're going to take the end of our thread. I'll do the knot this way today. I'm going to take over my fingers. And then I'm going to take this little tail through, pull the loop around, and then just try to get that little knot as close to the end as possible. Okay? So then I'm going to trim that just about there. Let's see if you can see that. There you go. All right. So our running stitch is going to start the same way that our back stitch started. We're going to take our needle. We're going to come up under and we're going to poke until we find this end of the line. Okay. Oh, not there. It's there. I'm going to bring our needle all the way through, pull our thread gently, not too hard, and we want our knot flush with the back. All right, we're going to go with about the same stitch size as yesterday. So I'm going to put my needle right back in, right about there. And look, if I need a guide, do you see how we can see where my stitch is from yesterday? So if I need a little help remembering, I can just look at that. I'm going to pull my thread all the way through, nice and gentle, just till it's flat. Okay, again, we're not looking to pull this super tight. If you ever need to pull your thread back up, you can always gently stick your needle up under the thread and then bring it back down a little bit gentler. Okay, now the next step starts the same way as our last stitch. So we're going to go about 1 stitch forward and we're going to bring our needle up. Okay, now we're going to pull our thread through. When we were doing the back stitch, we would come back here, right? Well, this is called a running stitch. So we're going to run forward. So we're going to look at about the length of 1 stitch. We're going to run forward and put our needle back in and go down. Okay, so now we've made 2 stitches and they have about a stitch length apart. So then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to move forward about 1 stitch length, come up, pull our thread through, and then Since we're doing a running stitch, we're going to run forward. So about one stitch length, push down, pull our thread through. Going to move forward one stitch length, come up, pull through, and then we're going to run forward one more stitch and back down. We're going to do that same process where we just, oh, nope, I didn't, look, can you see I didn't pull this all the way through? And so now I've got this little loop here, but we can fix that. I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to gently, you know what, I'm going to use the end of my needle because it's not so sharp. I'm going to stick my needle through and just pull that up. Okay, so that fixed that on the back. Now I've got to pull it through like that. And now my back is nice and clean again. Okay, so we're going to go down one stitch length, pull through, come up, go down. The running stitches, I think it's a pretty easy stitch. It might even be easier than the back stitch. It's a cute way to outline things. If you ever need to just quickly sew two pieces of fabric together, a running stitch is a great way to do that in a hurry. Okay. Now look, I just pulled that. It's a little close, but I'm not going to fret about it. I'm just going to keep moving. I'm going to keep running forward. And do you see how I kind of take my hand, because I know you guys don't have a stand, so you're going to be using your left hand to hold. So I just kind of move the project in my hand to make it easier for me to get to the part that I need to be at. Okay, we're going to come up, back down. All right, so we're getting near the end. I'm going to do one more stitch up and down. And I think I'm just going to put one little one here. So I'm going to go up, and it's not going to be a full stitch length, but I want to go back down right where the line meets the cloud. Okay, and back down. All right, now we get to make our confetti stitches. So the technical name for this is a seed stitch, but whenever I see it, I think of like sprinkles on ice cream. And so that's what it makes me think of, but it's called a seed stitch technically. So I'm going to pick right here. I'm going to go up and then back down. I'm going to come here and I'm going to put one there. And I think maybe I'll put one here. Okay. And that's all there is to it. So I'm going to turn this over, and I've got quite a bit of thread left today. So I am going to cut it at about that length, which is maybe 4 inches. Okay. I set this over here. Now I'm going to take this thread and see if you can see it like this. I'm going to split it just like that. And I might have to twist it a little bit. There we go. Okay, so now I'm down to the fabric, and I'm going to tie that just like I would tie shoes. 2 times, and then you're good. And you're just going to snip that close. All right? So look at that. We did a running stitch today. Way to go. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.